Daniel and Bianca in this last episode. Daniel was spazzing out. He told Bianca that he was about to jump out of her car if she did not pull over and let him out. So that's exactly what she ended up doing. And he jumps out of the car and he said that Bianca just makes him so freaking angry. And I think alcohol in general just makes him angry. It's giving that Daniel's a mean drunk. We've seen Bianca with the slick comments before, but she seemed to at least have a little bit of growth from last season. It seems like she's keeping her mouth shut more this season. So like when Daniel was in the car, she really wasn't saying much to him outside of rolling her eyes and asking him why he decided to suddenly drink and not talk to her. I think most girlfriends in this situation would have a lot more questions, but Bianca really didn't say much because she felt like she was walking on eggshells and didn't want to say anything that was going to set Daniel off any more than he already had. And even though she didn't say much, he still blew up. And then she goes back to the apartment. He shows up. He's freaking slamming the dishwasher, being disrespectful, just throwing shit around. And she wants to try to sit down and have a conversation with him. And he doesn't want to talk to her. He doesn't want anything to do with her in this moment. And she's like, can we just please talk? And he's like, nope, I don't want to do this. I'm over this. And she said, look, usually when I'm in this situation, I take a step back. And he's like, okay, then please let me take a step back and F off. And I'm like, this dude does not respect this girl at all. I think he looks at Bianca as like a sugar mama. And he probably, I have a feeling like he probably found out that Bianca had a nice settlement or was well off financially early on in the relationship. And I think that's what he clung to in this relationship. You see, when you have bum dudes like this who try to find people to like depend on or help take care of them, usually when they know they got you, that's when they start acting cocky, like when they marry you or knock you up and know that you're stuck with them for life. But here's Daniel, I feel like, acting all cocky and like he can act however he pleases because they just signed this 12-month lease and he thinks, okay, well, we're stuck in this lease together, so we got to make it work for better or for worse for the next 12 months. But Bianca, she doesn't want to continue living with Daniel like this. It's not healthy for her. It's not healthy for anybody to be around somebody who's constantly gaslighting and being an angry drunk all the time. So she says, I don't want to sit here and live with you. And he said, well, then you're gonna have to move out because I refuse to move out. He said it's easier for Bianca to find a place because she's not a felon. I can't find a place, and look at this place. And he knows he's never gonna find a place this nice ever again, so he's trying to leech off of that. He's like, oh, it's no issue. If she moves out, I'll find someone else to move in. I think he's talking to other women and he thinks he can easily move one of those women in. But you know, what I heard is after Bianca did move out, I don't think he moved a girl in. He had like that one girl's son, like teenage son, move in with him, which was so random. And I think he did that because he was so desperate to find anybody who could help pay rent. And I don't even think the son had a job at first, but he was hoping he'd eventually get one. I heard he had several different people living in there at one point, but he still was unable to make rent, so he did eventually end up losing that apartment. But Daniel's not trying to meet Bianca halfway. He just thinks Bianca has the money, I don't, so it's all on her. She needs to move out. And he's honestly lucky that Bianca has money and Bianca's lucky she has money because in most cases, people don't have the extra money, especially after you just moved and paid for a deposit, probably first month and last month's lease and application fees and everything you needed to do to move all your stuff to this apartment. That's thousands of pounds, thousands of dollars, plus all this furniture she's trying to buy that she just dropped to move and sign this 12-month lease. And now she's going to have to pick up and move all over again. She's very fortunate. And Daniel kept complaining like, I can't stand you. I don't like you. And Bianca's like, I'm just so confused because if you can't stand me or don't like me, then why the hell would you sign this 12-month lease? And that is a good point because if you're having all these issues with somebody, the best time to decide if that relationship is going to end or continue is before you hit a big milestone or make a big decision, like before you decide to move into a new place, or before, what would be the point of signing a new lease if you know that relationship's on the rocks? But obviously he felt comfortable enough that it was going to last at least another whole year. But I think even he probably knew it wasn't going to last a whole year when he signed the lease, and that Bianca would be willing to likely leave because he just thinks, oh, she has money, so she can deal with it. I am 110% convinced after this episode that Daniel was indeed using Bianca as a place to stay when he got out, and just as someone to help pay for his things. Like Bianca said, he just started working. I had to pay for rent last month, and there's several other months that I had to pay all the rent, and he can't even make it paying rent with me. So how the hell is he gonna make it on his own? What I think happened is he probably has some girls in his DMs. A lot of guys go on these shows, then they get all these thirsty girls in their DMs, and they're in relationships. I think some guys, they sit there and think, oh, I got all these girls that want me, like, why am I sitting here with this girl who is sitting here and holding me accountable and bitching at me when I can be out with all these girls that think I'm the most amazing thing since sliced bread and tell me how I'm too good for Bianca. I think all those girls were in his DMs making his head get big. So he thought, okay, I'll just kick Bianca to the curb and I'll have a million and other one girls lined up ready to move in. But I think once he lost Bianca, he realized that it's not that easy. Especially when it comes to finding a girl that has a fat ass settlement that you can just live off of. It's not that easy, and if you do come across one, she's probably gonna be like 65 years old and toothless and ruthless. But yeah, so this relationship is on the verge of imploding. Daniel is self-destructing, and I think these two need to get the hell away from each other as soon as possible and get the cat out of this situation, because poor little guy looks stressed out dealing with Daniel's BS. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.